Yo, what's up? It has been a hot minute since we've chatted. We back though, and we're gonna chat a little bit today. Got a handful of topics we're gonna look at. We're gonna look at a bunch of crap going on around the league. We're gonna dive into some video highlights. We're gonna get into those pretty quick, and we are going to chat a little bit about what some things are going to look like in season 2, and we're also going to look ahead to playoff schedule, but we'll get into all that. I'm excited about the stuff we got to look at today, so let's dive into this. I know it's been a hot minute since we've put out anything like this. Holidays really slowed things down, so but we're gonna get into a groove here, and gonna be putting out a lot of crap. Before we really dive, well, really the first thing that I have that I want us to look at, basically, major shout out to the Steelers, major shout out to Canes. In week 9, Canes Thanos snapped the now previous Cowboys owner out of the league. He dusted him. He's dusted. He's gone. He's gone. Obliterated. Week number 9, Canes destroyed the Cowboys owner, 56-7. And like I got like a lot of crap going on right now with my family, so like I've been massively like unplugged, right? So I really don't know exactly what transpired, but what I know, Canes obliterated them 56-7, and next thing I know, I see the notification of the Cowboys owner leaving the server. When someone puts a whipping on somebody so bad that they turn, they leave, we call that the Thanos snapped. Previous Cowboys owner got Thanos snapped out of existence, and when you look at the stats of that game, like, it's incredible. I don't know how Canes is doing what he's doing with that rookie quarterback he's got, but he's doing it. 474 yards passing. Cole McDonald had 474 yards passing in the game. Canes running backs, they put up 119 yards. He put up 14 points in the first quarter, 14 points in the second quarter, 28 points in the third quarter, nothing in the fourth quarter. I'm assuming there was a lot of let's just in the game shenanigans going on. Cole McDonald had a QBR of 135.6 with 6 touchdowns. He targeted 7 different receivers through the entire game. I mentioned he had 6 touchdowns, right? No one player had 2 touchdowns. These 6 touchdowns were all to 6 different receivers. If Cole McDonald doesn't get Rookie of the Year, then Madden's broken. Okay, just give Cole McDonald the Rookie of the Year now. I believe I looked at it before doing this. Cole McDonald is currently up to a 70 overall. Do you get that? Kane is doing what he's doing with a 70 overall rookie quarterback. You look at his record, he has 3 losses on the season though, but you look at who he lost to though, like none of, like, I don't look at any of his losses and think he should have won that game. Let me back up a moment. Let me rephrase that. I don't like the way I phrase that. You look at the people he lost to, and you don't look at it and be like, that's a game he should have obliterated that person. What I'm getting at is the people he lost to are quality owners, are good guys on the sticks. He lost to Kanyu and the Eagles. Honestly, like, I haven't been around Kanyu for years, but I remember him being good. If my memory serves me right, I believe he was good. And he's got the Eagles, so he's got a loaded team. And if my memory serves right, I'm pretty sure he's good. But it's been years since I've been around Kanye, so maybe he's not. I don't know. But he also lost to Estrada, and Estrada, I mean, he's a one-loss team right now. I mean, he is also in division with Canes, and Canes also has a loss to the Bengals owner. And speaking of that loss, like, that is a conversation all in itself. We might look at that another time. But in week 9 is when Canes put down the Thanos snap on the Cowboys owner, and then he follows up in week 10. Kane gets obliterated by the Bengals owner, 21-61. But we're not going to dive into that game. We're not here to talk about that game. We're here to talk about the Thanos snap. Kane's Thanos snap the Cowboys out of existence. And since we're talking about the Thanos snap, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that game. So, diving into this, the first play that we have here, it's Kane's first score of the game. It's in the first quarter. Hikes the ball, and he hits his running back, Derek Watt, for a 6-yard touchdown. Canes follows up again here, still in the first quarter, with a 21-yard pass to Eric Ebron. Following this score, this next score would be in the second quarter. You already know what it's going to be looking at that play art. And to make it even better, look at his free safety. He gave it to him. He gave that post to Juju. You look at a lot of these plays. This guy's given a lot of what he's given to him. The following this play right here, it's not a score from Canes, but it's really just like look at Cowboys. Like, you'll understand here. Like, he throws this pass, right? That should have been a pick. Very next play, right? Cowboys, like, you would think that after getting that freebie, right, he'll like calm down a little bit. Nope. Wasn't so lucky that time. Joe Hayden picks it off. Canes runs it out, which sets up the very next play. An effortless, this is going to be absolutely effortless. Look at Washington there on the post. The middle's wide open, tosses it right to X, and bad user there gave it to him. Following that, we are moving into the third quarter. Canes puts up 28 points this quarter. This play right here, he finds the rookie Claybull on a little zig, and Claybull takes that little zig and makes something beautiful out of it. Following that, still in the third quarter, we've got a beautiful post to Deontay Johnson. Nobody can catch him. He's gone. It wouldn't be just Canes wide receivers that gets in on the action. Here, still in the third quarter, we see the rookie Anthony McFarland getting it done on the ground. And then finally, the last scoring play that we see coming up here in a second. We see the rookie Cole McDonald. You see what it is from the play art. He drops back. Oh, and he takes it up the gut for a touchdown. Absolutely beautiful highlight reel from that game. You know, if you're going to be in a top end Madden league, you're going to have to be able to take your losses. It happens to everybody. Like, nobody is excused from it. And like, we say that, but like, it's the truth. Like I mentioned, like, this was like the game we looked at here. Canes Thanos snapping Cowboys out of existence was a week 9 game. In week 10, Canes follows up and he gets a thumping himself, loses 21-61. Like, it's gonna happen. You're gonna take your losses. If you can't take your losses, you might as well like leave now, you know. In the last time we touched base, last video like this we spent a lot of time talking about the unbeaten teams. Let's take a moment and look at the unbeaten teams we have left. Oh wait, there are none. There are no unbeaten teams left in the league at this point. There is a collection of one-loss teams. The Chiefs are sitting at 1 loss. The Packers are sitting at 1 loss. The Jaguars 1 loss. Browns 1 loss, and Seahawks 1 loss. In the mix of all of those 1-loss teams, I would say the team that probably surprises me the most, and honestly is probably just because I'm not really familiar with the owner, is the Jaguars owner, BGZ. I don't really know him all that well, so don't really know what to expect from him. But everybody else on the list, like, I know these owners and none of them surprise me. They are all top end guys. I'm really like hoping and praying though that Estrada and his Browns go on a massive losing streak, right? Because during the trade deadline, I kind of landed his first round pick, so I need him to lose a lot of games to make that pick better. And speaking of the trade deadline, probably going to follow up within the next few days with another video kind of going over all the trades that went down on the trade deadline, and we're going to chat about those a little bit. But I didn't want to throw that into this because I didn't want to overpack it full of crap. But yeah, so I'm really hoping Estrada just goes on a massive losing streak. We talked in the last video a lot about the unbeaten teams. We also talked a lot about the unvictorious teams. There is still one team left without a win, though you can't really fault that guy because that one team is the Washington football team. And Washington football team doesn't have his console yet, so his team is a computer team. We've been holding it for him, and we will continue to hold it for him. The date on which his console is supposed to ship keeps getting pushed back, but I believe they'll have it soon. Regardless, though, he's our guy, so be patient with it. There is a collection of teams that have 1 loss. There is a collection of teams with 1 win, and those teams are the Cowboys, the Patriots, the Texans, the Lions, and my Buccaneers. Now, one of these teams, they have a massive asterisk by their 1 win, and that team is the Cowboys. I think we're on like the 3rd or 4th Cowboys owner though, so approach it with a little bit of understanding. We just got in a new Cowboys owner as well, so maybe he can turn the franchise around there. But the asterisk, like the like changing like owners, is not the asterisk that goes by this 1 win team. The asterisk that goes by it is the 1 win that the Cowboys team has. It's against the CPU team of the Washington football team. So the win that they got, they didn't actually play and earn it. They got it for free for being matched up against a CPU team, and they got the forced win. So technically, I think we could maybe still view the Cowboys as a winless team. We won't make too big of a deal about it. The Patriots have 1 win. Their win came against the Jets in week 9. The Texans have 1 win. Their win came against the Titans in week 6. The Lions have 1 and came in week 3 versus the Cards. And then my Buccaneers have 1. It came against the Bears. Now, we need to talk about the Bears, because the Bears following losing to me kind of got his crap together a little bit, right? In the last video we did when we were talking about like the undefeated teams, there was 1 team that was mentioned amongst the undefeated teams, and that there's a handful of teams mentioned, right? But 1 team in specific was the Rams, and I didn't give them a lot of love. And basically my point was, looking at their schedule, I don't see where they had beaten anyone of significance. He kind of had a bone to pick with me too. The Rams kind of had a bone to pick with me because he ended up breaking some rules and got one of his safeties suspended. And the like undisputed like images or whatever that kind of throw out sometimes. We made an image about the suspension, right? And from the suspension, he's like, oh, that's the first coverage I get, I'm undefeated. Oh, that's basically like what I got from the interaction, right? Well, the Bears, following his loss to me, he kind of gets his crap together, right? And he plays the Rams, the undefeated Rams, and you know what he does? He delivered to the Rams first loss. And do you know what happened after the Rams first loss? They completely unraveled. The Rams have collapsed, right? They went from being this undefeated team that had beaten nobody with a massive chip on their block about how they were going to do all these great things, right? They lose to the Bears, they lose to Jimbo, and then they lose to Bayman. 3 weeks in a row. Lost to the Bears, lost to the Dolphins, lost to the Seahawks. Now, I can understand the loss to Bayman, right? But come on. Rams, come on. Like, if you're going to be at the top end of the league, you're going to have to beat the Bears, right? Like Bears is like on my level, right? And like I'm total garbage, right? And no offense, no offense, Deloitte, like you're cool, man. And then Jimbo ain't good. Jimbo's a bottom feeder, okay? Jimbo is a bottom feeder. Like, I understand the loss to Bayman, that's understandable. But before you took that loss to Bayman, you lost to 2 bottom feeders. And you know what happens when you advance, Rams? You've got another bottom feeder. I'm gonna hand you your 4th loss in a row, right? And I'm going to prove when I hand you that 4th loss that you're just a pretender, and you never even should have been in that conversation in the last video where we were talking about all the undefeated teams. Get ready for loss number 4, because it's coming. No, I'm just playing. Don't wet me too bad. Don't wet me. Take it easy on me, right? It sucked. But yeah, man, the Rams totally collapsed. But do you know who has not collapsed since the last video we did? In the last video we did, I believe a 1-loss team that I gave praise to, and I specifically mentioned I give this 1-loss team more praise than I give the Rams, and that 1-loss team was the Packers. Dre Smith Jr. and his Packers. And like I kind of called him out during the video. I was kind of like, I expect more from you. And like it came down to his quarterback play, because when I've been around him in the past in other leagues, like the main thing that really has stuck out to me about him is his quarterback play. And I think he's gotten his crap together. Let's look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, like at first, like it doesn't look too impressive, but when you take a step back and really look at what he's doing, I think it's impressive. Rodgers has 2,315 yards. You compare that to guys like Patrick Mahomes, like you're like, what? Why you even mention that? But here's the thing. He has 17 touchdowns, and then here's the beautiful part. 5 interceptions. That's about the number of losses that the Rams has. No, he's only got 3, but he's got 5. Aaron Rodgers has 17 touchdowns with 5 interceptions. 5 interceptions. How do you win in Madden? You take care of the football. Rodgers has 5 interceptions on the year with a 77% like completion percentage. I'm gonna go out on a limb right now. I already know what our season 1 Super Bowl is going to be. Okay? I'll tell you who it's not going to be. It's not going to include the Rams. Who it is going to include, though, the season 1 Super Bowl of Madden Elite, we are going to see we're going to see the Cinderella story of Cole McDonald, the Steelers rookie quarterback, climbing and fighting his way all the way to the Super Bowl to be smashed by Aaron Rodgers. Now, when I say Dre Smith is going to smash Canes in the Super Bowl, it's not an insult on Canes. It really, like anything, like major props to Kane for doing what he's doing with Cole McDonald. But when you get to the big dance and you got Cole McDonald there and he's up against Aaron Rodgers, and like just like the effectiveness of Dre Smith Jr. with Aaron Rodgers, like I gotta go with Aaron Rodgers. I gotta go with Dre Smith Jr. I'm calling it right now. My prediction right now for the Super Bowl, Madden Elite Season 1 Super Bowl, is Canes, Dre Smith Jr. I got Dre Smith going over on Canes. Shifting gears a little bit. I want to shift gears a little bit, and I want to talk a little bit about what we can expect going forward as we move into Season 2, because Season 1 is wrapping up pretty quick. On the 13th, so not this Wednesday but next Wednesday, we're going to have a league stream. Wednesday the 13th, we're going to have a league stream. As we get closer, I'll put out more details on it, but basically we'll have a game, we'll have a panel up, and we'll be commentating the action as it goes down. The following Wednesday after that, we'll be in the playoffs. Once we get into Season 2 though, every Wednesday the goal is to have a league stream. We've got a couple people who are going to be working with us, a couple people working together to make this a reality. But going forward, our goal, once we get to Season 2, the holidays and everything really slowed things down and complicated things. During the holidays, like, the priority is not Madden, like that's just the reality of it, family first. But once we get to Season 2, we're going to strive to have weekly streams. We've got a team in place to make this happen, but the next league stream we're going to have will be on the 13th. We do have some other things to chat about on the topic of league streams and all that. As we move into this week, we are going to be adjusting the advanced schedule just a little bit. Normally on the weekends, we bump weekend advance up to 78 hours. Moving forward with the rest of Season 1, once we get to Season 2, we'll go back to the normal schedule. But for the rest of Season 1, we are going to be operating under a 48-hour advance. And then when we hit week 17, to speed things along, week 17 is only going to be a 24-hour advance. So be prepared, be ready. We're going to be moving at a little bit faster pace, and all of this is so that the beginning of the playoffs will fall on Sunday, January 17th. Once we get to the playoffs, we are going to dive into a pretty big project. I have been able to do this one other time. I did this one other time last cycle in a league that I was with, and we are going to try and make it a reality here again in this season of Madden Elite. But we are going to attempt to align all the playoffs games, and we are going to attempt to stream and commentate every single playoff game. This is a huge undertaking. If you end up making the playoffs, for us to make this happen is going to take communication between myself and all the guys who end up getting to playoffs. We'll talk more about it, and I'll talk more specifically with playoff owners once we get there. But basically we're going to have different blocks of games, and we're going to try and align the West Coast guys with the later blocks, East Coast guys with the earlier blocks. Takes a lot of communication. It can be done. I've done it before, but it basically comes down to communication. And there is a chance, embarking on this big project, that there may be a game that just isn't possible to get on this schedule, right? But we are going to attempt to stream and commentate every single playoff game. This will transpire over 5 nights. Sunday, January 17th, we will see 3 playoff games. So we'll be running a stream with 3 games back to back to back. And then the next day, Monday, we will be running 3 more wildcard games back to back to back. And then Tuesday the 19th will be the biggest of the streams, as we will air all 4 of the divisional games back to back to back to back. And then the 20th, we will see the 2 conference championship games back to back. And then Thursday the 21st, we will air the very first Madden Elite Super Bowl. I know this is a big undertaking, and it's out of the norm of what most leagues do. And I know, like, the ideal and the notion of this might be met with resistance from some. But honestly, it basically just comes down to communication. So we're going to try and attempt to do this. I've done it before. It can be done. But I mean, there is always a chance that there may be a game that the schedules just don't work out. And that was almost the case with one particular game. The last time I did this, we almost missed out on one game, but at the last minute we were able to kind of swing things. But basically it just comes down to communication. We're gonna try and do it. And honestly, like, when I was able to do this the previous time I did it, it was hands down like probably like the funnest thing for me that I'd ever done in a Madden CFM. Like, if you know me, you know that my heart is in media, and like I just had a blast doing it. So as we move forward and we prepare to undertake this big project, if you end up getting into the playoffs, please bear with me, please work with me. The only way we'll be able to pull something like this off is communication. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am massively looking forward to it. And I also may have another ace up my sleeve that I'm planning to pull out last minute if things work out, but we'll see, and we'll get to it. But anyways, thanks for checking this out. If you enjoyed it, please leave some love. The more love people leave, the more often we'll do stuff like this. But yeah, guys, until next time, peace.